What's one thing that can make a divorce way worse than it actually has to be?
I would say the number one thing is probably the attorney that you choose.
Why would you say that?
The reason behind that is if you pick the wrong attorney, it's going to set the tone for your entire case. If you hire somebody because they're a bulldog or they're going to be aggressive, fine, maybe. But what if the other side is also a bulldog and aggressive? You can imagine where that case is going to lead to, right? It could be somebody that you got referred to, and well, if they're going to refer me, they must be a great attorney. Again, possible, yes, but you got to know to ask the right questions. Pick the right attorney, pick someone that you trust, pick someone that answers your questions, pick somebody that has full disclosure on what their fees are going to be so that it's not well, it could be this, but it shouldn't be much more than this. You want to stay away from those attorneys.
What else do people do wrong?
The other thing that people do wrong is they make decisions emotionally. I talked in another question you had asked me in another section that we had discussed is that if you can separate the emotional part from the legal aspect, sort of the business aspect of the divorce, it's going to help you to survive the divorce without making bad decisions and cratering your case. Some of the most difficult cases we have and some of the most upset people when it's all done are people who make decisions on emotion. And they're upset, they're pissed, and they say, well, I'm gonna make them suffer. Okay, but if you make your decisions based upon that type of emotion, it's probably not gonna be a good outcome for you.
So what should I actually be focused on?
So the things you should be focused on, I like to try to tell people to keep it simple, okay? There's really only two pieces to a divorce. There's the property division, and by property I mean houses, cars, bank accounts, retirement accounts, property, and then child-related decisions. Who's the kid gonna live with? Who's gonna make the decisions? What's the possession schedule going to look like, and what's the financial support going to look like for the kid? Those are the two pieces. Break it down into sections and understand each segment of what you're trying to solve. Don't make decisions that don't make sense financially. At the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is weighing the economic cost of what you're asking for versus the big picture, right? So you have this nice set of Teflon, cooking pans that you want, and you're willing to go to the mat over those. Just buy you new ones. You'll save a ton of money in the long run. Your case will be over, and just the emotional drain alone over fighting over things far outweighs replaceable items. So be smart like that. Don't quibble over small details. Focus on the big picture items.